Hello, superstars. Fitness life is truly a journey, and you can roll your eyes, but it has its ups and downs. And to be your physical strongest self doesn't mean that it's going to be the best chapter. I have never loved my fitness life more than I do now. I train hard, I'm building up my volume, I'm building muscle, I'm focused, I'm really precise in my training. I don't do any crap training, I don't overdo cardio, I don't overtrain, I sleep better than ever. I have the most nutritious and relaxed, enjoyable diet, life. Everything is just better than ever. That doesn't mean that my body would be the physically strongest, absolutely strongest compared to my younger self. Not at all. And I feel that there's so much of holding up a surface, an image online particularly, that I don't want to be part of that. So that's why I'm just straight to the point, want to tell you my life philosophy and what I care about. Right now, the most important thing for me is to enjoy what I have to do today. The training day today has to be something that is rewarding me, is building me up, gives me more feelings of satisfaction than it gives me stress and performance anxiety. I've had my years and decades before of pushing myself so hard, so my love for lifting and training became my hate. I didn't care about balance. I wanted to live extreme. I loved to chase my fitness goals. It had a purpose then. Mission accomplished. I became, as they say, one of the best because I achieved professional status, IFBB Fitness Figure Pro. I made my fitness dream reality. And I'm proud of that I saw Arnold on the cover of a magazine. That was the motivation, the inspiration I needed. I acted on it, made the whole life in USA. Mission accomplished. But I'm one of those people who don't live on an outdated dream. I evolve. And now when I'm a coach and trainer, I notice how much of that image of me being young and tough and blunt only. I'm still tough and blunt, but you know what I mean. That it doesn't have to feel good. It's all about the physical body appearance, and having a weakness or being accepting of my body was something I frowned upon. Like there was no part in me who wanted to accept my body before I was kind of complete. That works really well with bodybuilding because that's perfectionism in a nutshell. You're going to find the weakness and make that your strength. You're going to scrutinize your body from top to toe and build it the way you want. I love it. I still live that lifestyle. But there has to be a perspective about having a mentality of perfectionism and striving versus how far are you going to take it before your love for it becomes your hate for it. So a few things that I want you to know is I don't train to just achieve goals with my physical body anymore. If it's not something I enjoy doing in the moment, if I don't enjoy my training, if I kind of just wait to have it done, I know it's not what I want to do. I don't want to spend my life thinking there's going to be some kind of internal reward that just have to keep on doing it. For how long then? So I'm over the typical gym rat style that I have to do it. The whole mentality of it doesn't have to feel good, I just have to get it done. I'm over it. There's not one part of me who spends one training session toughing it out. And this is hilarious. I have never trained better, smarter, more elaborate, more focused than I do now. when I compare it to my younger self, I laugh now because I was ignorant and arrogant and was tough, right? And I didn't want to see myself for real. I just refused to kind of evaluate my form because I had this image that I wanted to keep just like everyone else. And then all people together keep their images with egos up tight, don't want to be seeing ourselves for what we are. I'm over that. I'm also over sitting and tracking calories and weighing up things that I just know that I don't have to. I trust myself. I'm not consciously ignoring, I didn't have that meal plan. I'm going to tear out the diet journal pages again and start over. I don't believe my BS there. I know can't start over. It's always going to pack into my fat cells if I don't behave. So I'm completely honest and aware, and I don't let myself live a diet lie. As in, I don't know why I'm not getting results. Something must be wrong. Trying to kind of chase the solution, more cardio. Is it a certain kind of nutrient timing? Is it a certain food? Is this inflammation? No, Pauline, you just ate like a pig and don't want to take ownership. So I don't play that game. That's why I stay in better shape than ever and had for years, because this has been something that I have practiced. The discipline, the fight-right mindset is something that I pretty much perfected with my real big diet epiphany in 2014. Before that, remember, I started with my conundrum on how to build muscle, burn fat, and be happy until I die on my diet that started in February 20, 1999 when I saw Arnold on the cover. So in that process, I became pro. In that process, I maintained a lean body because that was my goal more than anyone else. I didn't have off-season because I just felt fat. I did for the 3 first years, but not later. So my goal was always, how do I maintain my lean body? So now think about that. From 1999 to 2006 I turned pro. Then from 2007 I got epiphany with Fighter Diet 1. And then after that, more and more epiphanies. I really came to that self-awareness moment in 2014. Then I feel that the ultimate Fighter Diet epiphany clarity was when I committed to let go of using cardio as the escape to kind of try to work it off, because I couldn't train anymore and I was terrified. It was my hamstring injury, and I was gonna sit for 3 months and then 3 more months without any training. So I committed and said, this is the time. I'm gonna show everyone, including myself, that it doesn't matter about the cardio. It's about the diet discipline. I have never been more shredded coming out of that based on only nutrition. So then from that forward, it was truly about, it was so easy to stay lean that it became second nature. It became what I do and what you know me of. For you, I have never been the Shetland pony body that I know, that I was a chubby, a thick sausage body. Because you have seen me so much maintain what I self-induced conditions, self-induced behavior that you see manifest in my body, that you just thought I was born like that. It became a big frustration when I was younger, that I felt that people don't understand how hard I've worked. Yeah, ego there. So anyway, forward now. So I want you to know that if I don't enjoy my training, there's no way I'm gonna keep on doing it. I don't train to be exhausted, I train to gain. I take care of my body the way that I listen to it, the way I didn't listen the way I wanted to when I was younger. I do cardio for heart health and for stress release and to burn calories, but not at all the way I used to. When it was fasted cardio, and it was cardio 24/7 pretty much, hours of cardio just to work off calories. Never do that anymore. It's a waste of time. I just have another whole mentality of nutrition and how I live. When it comes to nutrition, there is not a part of me who wants to track the way you do with macros and keep up and then starting over and falling off, because I enjoy my diet. I also know that I just have to be attentive, and I know nutrition is not my first year, so I don't have to kind of think like, oh, I don't know what is Kellogg's K and cereal is the perfect carb, and I'm gonna eat like that, right? So I can't fool myself the way I did when I was younger. You know, when you don't want to remember your cheat days, when you are frustrated, you're not getting results, and here you go, do the opposite. That's gonna give you results. Gonna have extra much more pizza and ice cream. So it's just very much more easy to kind of not have an on and off switch, because there's no crash dieting, there's no fad, there's no action paralysis. So I don't know how to do this. When that happens, when you kind of fall back into destructive overindulgence and then you regret it, you don't know how to trust yourself. I trust myself 100%. There is not an ounce of me who kind of self-seduce myself so I stab myself in the back. There is, for instance, yesterday when it was my refeed reward, there's not more coming in. That's not suddenly it becomes a whole day or an extra Saturday. Nothing. There's no at all going away from the plan. But I'm also not a stickler for keeping the plan no matter what. If my motivation changes, I follow that and go with the flow. But I have to be responsible. I can't say, come back later and say, oh, I should have thought through, I should have seen through myself. Because I'm at that chapter in my life where, Pauline, you had that same scenario 100 times. Don't fool me, don't try to fool me saying that you couldn't see this through. You wanted this little incident so you could complain about it later, I know. So I don't play that game, it's easy. Without having that start on a diet, it's just to kind of fine-tune. So if I'm getting fatter, I just know what I cut out. If I'm getting leaner, I know what to do. So I monitor my body by my behavior, and I don't step on the scale. I haven't for 6 months. I don't have to. It doesn't do anything. I don't take measurements. I go by the feel and how I want to look and how my training is. If I have a puffy day, you bet I'm not gonna stress about that body part and make that the agony of the day, because there's more to stress about in life than that. I refuse to live my life complaining or worrying about having a body that is 99% healthy. I'm beyond that. I'm too real to kind of take my body for granted. I'm over that. So that's another one that has become much more easier being myself. I have generally never enjoyed my diet more than now. I've found the way that I have pretty much too mad. So I have my protein shake in the morning, and then I fast all day long until I have my big dinner and dessert. And right now I'm on a weekly refeed, but if I want to get even leaner, which is not the point now, it's more about gaining lean muscle and slowly leaning out, then I would take that one out and go evaluate. I know exactly what I want. It's so easy to not have to kind of stress about vegetables and how much, and not living by a scale that I have to measure everything up, because I think that is the sign of control. So it's funny, huh? How do you change perspective of before? Control in my life was to measure everything on scale and to track everything, and calories, that was the mostly. I just did macros when I want to evaluate it. I've never been into that. I just why? When you can count calories and just know the protein, the rest could be flexible. So that's fighter diets. Keep it super simple style. Flexibility in carbs and fats, protein is good to have a range. But now I just know where I'm getting my protein because I'm very regimented for my gout. So it's so easy. The protein, I know how much to have in the day. The rest is flexible. I have my portions for my dessert ingredients. I know my Parmesan. That's pretty much it. So it's so easy, and I have always wanted to love my diet, or I will leave my diet, and I have mission accomplished on that. So diet means way of life, right? And I have that as the best ever relationship for myself. So for you who don't have that, don't give up. Just think about why you keep on making the same kind of regrets, or why you don't feel satisfied, and then start looking into what you are missing. For me, I get to have what I love every day in the experience. I love chocolate, so for me it's important to want to have that every day, which doesn't mean that I have a chocolate bar. I have my heaven and ball. It gives me the same feeling but no regrets and no body composition deterioration. Then the last thing is about myself, my personal, my feelings, my everything else in life and body. So there's not one part of me who wants to hear my younger self criticize my body because it wasn't perfect enough. It was a great stimulator to feel that I'm not good enough, but it's nothing that I would like to live my whole life. Feeling that if I just get enough praise, even though I wasn't conscious that I was looking for an exterior validation, but hey, to have to walk on stage, right, and to show off, and then when I compete, yeah, it's a personal accomplishment, but if you think about it, where does that come from? I know for me, deeply rooted, that it comes from childhood. Now, I'm not that kind of, epidemiologist who said, oh, I'm gonna be a victim, but everything kind of has a reason, and then what you make out of it, that's what matters. So I had my upbringing, and with my body, I'm gonna show that I'm good enough. Made me a fitness model with gracing covers internationally, becoming a global fitness sensation. Thank you for having had challenges, struggles, and not being seen as a child, right? So there's always a good thing, and I just use it to my advantage. But if I had lived chasing a fitness body and never want to accept that is for some kind in your life when you're biologically your strongest, after that it's ridiculous, because then this would be my future. For every year I would be older, I would lose my youth in fitness and strength and perkiness. It could just be feeling worse and worse that I was an outdated version of myself. I'm expired goods. Because you can see, I mean, from without well, you're gonna be offended, so that's gonna happen. I just know that if I compare my body in skin and muscles and so on to my younger, and let's say I had pregnancies and been overweight in between, so my body had been in all kinds of shapes, how on earth would I be able to be happy with my body from top to toe, just assuming that everything has to be perfect? Like how would that be possible? I wouldn't. I would have to feel that I can't show myself to myself. I can't look in the mirror because I hate what I see. And that is something that I don't want to have in my life. Not at all. I have made the policy for myself that it doesn't matter what my body looks like, because it's not what I judge myself by. I go by what I do. It's not my body's fault. It's an entrained expectation of my looks and what I want to be about based on what I see and what I have had. But all those years of being younger, I remember the moments when I felt really disgusted about looking at myself. Here I am with what a body that people say it's like worth, like best of the best. And I couldn't see that, because for me there was always something that wasn't good enough, and I wanted to focus on that. And I felt that was completely crystal clear why I should do that. Of course, there's an obvious flaw. How could I not focus on that? That would show like am I stupid? Don't I see that I have something that I have to work on? Even though it's something that maybe I can't do anything about it, I should still never let that go, because who do I think I am? I'm not perfect. How can I be happy? And I remember how I felt when I was younger, that I got frustrated and pissed at people who were, in my opinion, obviously not perfect looking. How could they be proud of the body? How could they have so happy? Didn't they see? They should be ashamed. Yeah, I hear myself saying it and I'm embarrassed, but that's how you are before you're a little bit more aware, right? So for me, I look forward to if I'm lucky to be alive, to be 60 and fit, 65, 70, 75, 80, 80 fit, and I don't expect at all my butt to be anything but wrinkly and saggy, diaper butt. I also think I'm going to have flabby triceps. Not that I'm not going to have the muscle in them, but they're not going to be as toned or tight, because that's not gravity, that's not life. I think I'm going to get a little bit of a turkey neck, right? I'm not going to have the same muscle mass when I'm 80. all these things doesn't make me feel any sadness, because I know that it's all about my own self-love and self-appreciation and self-acceptance. That it would be ridiculous for me to want to hold on to what is a young fittest body. I don't chase the fittest body, I chase the fit feeling. So that's the big difference between before and now. And there's not on and stop. This is a self-growth journey and a self-realization, and kind of all my 7 years of meditation has definitely brought me into this. If I hadn't done that, if I hadn't committed to that, thanks to my frustration and anger with people, which was with myself, I would have not at all the same self-distance and self-knowledge and self-mastery I have now. Everything of that came from that. That's why it's so funny that I've always talked about the strong mind and firetism mindset. Yeah, I got that slapped in my face because I had to go through that myself, and I still do. So I'm not in any way finished. If you think that, you are not understanding that I'm a open-minded person, as in I want to be challenged. I find ways to challenge myself and my ego and my image and my identity every day, and that's the life of meditation, mindfulness, and self-awareness. To want to be my best means I have to see through the conditioned part of me in life and fitness life. And when it comes down to what I want you to know, as in being a female and comparing to other women typically, here are a few things I just want to kind of iron in for you. That when I see the younger ones that are stronger, the stars on social media or in life, there's not an ounce of me feeling that I'm jealous or I wish I was younger or I have to prove myself I still got it. None of that. Because I was young too once, and I am older now. I'm not competing with them because I don't want what they want. I'm also not interested in, or I'm not frustrated where men want younger women because I'm not looking. The thing is, men are designed to be focused on biologically most suitable women to bear their offspring, and this is in your genes. And that's why if you are young, you're gonna have more likeliness to be able to have an offspring. So that's why it's naturally that a man is trained to see what looks young. And for me, I just want to have the youngest body I can, which means I take care of my body, I strength train, I eat healthy, and so on. But it feels so good to kind of not at all feel any resentment or envy, or not feeling like, oh, if I had been younger I would have this or that, blah blah blah. Because I have never been happier than I am now. I also have never been more happy with my body than I am now. Now I do feel that I have built my body to look better than ever because I'm training so well, and so it might be that honestly I never felt that my body is better than now. But that comes with me changing my mind about, for let's say, scars. Before, when I was skinnier, that I had no glutes, right? I felt too skinny because I lost interest in weight training. I turned into meditation walks for 4 to 5 hours, combined with not being able to train, and then pandemic without any lift, with any gym, exercise, weights. I just became skinny, shredded. And I remember then that I felt like I feel so old in my body. I want to be bigger. So now, if I had had that experience, I know that it's how I feel. The body, I don't have this body forever anyway. I'm going to enjoy having my body every day because it's not a guarantee. That I can walk here today and that I can train. That, for instance, I've been able to build up my volume on my German volume training, leg training, to come back and see how amazing the body is when I give it time. I have worked so hard to be able to get my lifting time back, right? From the torn 2 shoulders to 2 torn hamstrings to 1 knee to gout, elbows, hand arthritis. I mean, it's pretty much everything. To come back, and I'm so in love with this. And I'm training better than ever. So if I would to check total weight total weight I lift now and range of motion that is really the best ever in my squats versus before when it was what I wanted to be very deep, but it wasn't. It just was my ego. Of course, I'm building muscle I've never had before. The real dense, great muscle. And I am not in a rush. And I'm so precise and meticulous and patient and careful because I don't want to risk anything because being a stupid or trying to make a rep that I shouldn't, right? And that means I'm coming out on top, so happy, so in love with fitness life. I love my lifting. Didn't want to go to the gym. Too exhausted, too tired. A lot of other pressure. This life year has been a huge adventure for me. I have changed business model. Have broken up with my in a good way. My business partner, my best friend, and I were gonna go two separate ways because we don't want to work the same way. I have become a VIP one-on-one coach. That is mostly what I do. Instead of having challenges with a lot of people. Everything has changed. I'm not even in the USA as residing right now. So it's been a lot of adaptation and fears and anxieties and also a lot of insights. It's not one part of me who would have been wanting to kind of have an easy way out of all this. With the business of the pandemic affecting me, my business and all, and then after that, I hacked Facebook that I built my business on, and then 3, hacked websites, couldn't keep up, and then come back. And I'm so happy that everything that I wanted, that I was trying to keep up doing, wasn't for me, because I would not have done this complete journey with myself if I had an easy way out. So I'm very proud of that. I love the evolution and I love that I feel amazing, and I want you to know that if you think I care so much about the surface, it's the opposite. It's just the way I love the lifestyle that just you see is in the body. I love my training life. I have made my training the way I do love it. I don't force myself to do anything. I don't force to follow any laws or ideas or regulations. I don't follow anyone. I follow myself. I lead myself. I don't care about trends. I don't care about comparison. The body transformation collages are marketing, and people need to see that in order to get inspired. If it wasn't for me, or if it wasn't that I need to kind of follow that, or you just keep on scrolling, I would definitely just have a deep conversation about you, asking what makes you happy? What do you want? If 10 years from now, do you see yourself keep doing this? To kind of have that long kind of little interview with you to see where is your purpose, where's your intention, what do you want out of all this? Because in my work, I notice how much of this is kind of based on expectations and outrageous ideals that I feel are outdated. That the lack of self-love and lack of self-confidence that most people have, you don't feel that you're worth anything, or you feel that your body's not good enough. You feel that no matter how much you try, you're never gonna be good in the eye of others. You're never gonna have that perfect body, so why even bother? All that stuff, right? And I'm here thinking, that's not what it's about. It's about how you enjoy. You can have a big tent on and just work out and eat healthy and enjoy the feeling without having to look at your body all the time, and your body will change. But when you get discouraged, you stop the process too early. Then step 2, you might feel, or you do at times because you tell me, that you feel it's not motivating enough because you're never going to end up with a perfect body that you saw once. So it's all or nothing. Why care? And that's when I want you to know that your body is your life vehicle, your home, the way you can experience the physical world and be here as you. You're not going to be in this form forever, right? So if you can think that you can dream about being fit, and you can have the feeling, and everything is exactly like being in a virtual reality, you don't need to be impatient or feel that it's kind of a defeat or fail, that you're never going to have what you feel is the perfect fitness model body. You want people to ask, what do you do? Or do you work out? You must work out because you're so fit. If you can let go of that and think about you give yourself the own self-love, you are fantastic, you're great, you're strong, you have a physical and powerful body, you can walk for miles, you know, all that stuff. And you enjoy eating for the joy of eating, not because you have to have a certain body type or body shape. When you eat for health, and that then shows in your body, what more do you need? Because what happens is you're going to notice that you're changing your perception. Because what you believe is the ultimate body, fitness body, it's just what you have conditioned yourself to believe. Just like I saw Arnold on the cover. Look back in history, you see there's been all kinds of body ideas. Not many hundreds of years ago, it was about being fat, because that was the status of having a wealthy life. So when you can kind of give up on that, of right now, of the ideals you're now, you are a victim to that. If you can kind of be a warrior and feel that it doesn't matter because you're timeless in your own life, as you, as a person, you're not dictated by your chronological age, but who you are. You're going to notice that you're happy and grateful to have a body to build. So the perfection thing is about being happy with being forever a work in process. And it's not a work to achieve some kind of objective perfectionism that we all have to align with, because that's like politics and religion. There's not going to be a way that everyone agrees. That would be lack of growth if we all agreed. So when you can really stand up for yourself and feel, I don't need anyone else to give me a confirmation or validate that it's okay for me to feel I'm strong. Why do you have to force and slave to be something that you just think is better, right? So that's what I want you to know. That was a long, deep philosophical thing, but I hope you understand. I want you to be happy being yourself. And when you work with me, that's my ultimate goal, to have you be happy, to be excited and wake up every day that you are you and you have yourself. And boy, are you happy to be something. You have new practices, new lessons, new courses and workouts and meals to experience and work like a student in life. Because nothing is worse than having someone who's close-minded, who say like this, well, I guess it's okay to, like, I don't want to learn something, I know this. Oh, so the ultimate sign of being old is resistance to want to evolve and learn. So yeah, if you want to be young in your body, you gotta have to be young in your mind about yourself, to be able to renew yourself. Stop doing what you've always done the way you've always done. Because you know in bodybuilding is, if you want to change, you got to keep on doing something in a way you've never done before. It's not only about repetition, it's about doing repetition with new progressive ways. And it's not always the way you think. It's not always heavier weight or harder training or tougher, cleaner diet. It might be the opposite. So that is what you should be kind of expecting when working with me. I question things. I don't want you to be a slave to ideals and perfectionism and feeling bad about yourself. You have one life. I want you to be happy today. And that's the beauty of fitness life. That the moment you commit, you are living it. There's no waiting for later, because you don't have to have the results to be living the life. Right? You are living what will keep on showing in your body. So when you stop thinking that it's a destination, I'm going to work up to this point, that I'm going to maintain somehow body, because that is not how it works anyway. Remember, after the transformation, the real struggle comes when you realize you don't love what you do because it's been so tough. There's too much fear and pressure and anxiety and stress that you don't love it. You fall out of love. So that's the point. To love fitness life, you got to give yourself the way to love it. You can't force yourself or want to comply. Stick with it. When you say that, I'm just going to stick to my diet better, I'm like, stick to it. How about enjoying it? When you do think from love perspective, you work out the way you love, that makes you feel great. You eat the way you're happy, satisfied, without being an all or nothing thinker, I just want junk, because you wouldn't. When you are true to yourself, it's not what you want. It's just a coping mechanism, or you're a little bit of an addict because you don't give yourself other options, you haven't given yourself patience, then you're realizing that you are a winner. You're gonna have the happy life, which it doesn't matter what happens in the world, what the circumstances are. You don't fall off the wagon because you know how to adapt and keep going. And that's the start of Fight or Die Mind. It's my lifestyle. It's to be happy with today, focus on today, and enjoy living my fitness life. So that's what I coach you about.